After a 2-month leave of absence, District 10 Councilman Clayton Perry will return to City Council tomorrow.
In fact, I've spoken to him almost either every day or every couple of days, so we've been in close touch and talk about all of the things that are coming up.
Perry took leave shortly after being arrested for a hit-and-run crash in early November. He was charged with DWI as well as failure to stop and render aid. Perry sent this letter saying he's addressed the issues that prevented him from carrying out his council duties. Michael Gallagher filled in for Perry during his leave and supports the councilman's return.
I'm getting very good responses because everyone has really enjoyed the work that Councilman Perry has done and been proud of his accomplishments. He's doing everything he's supposed to do from a rehab standpoint.
Councilwoman Melissa Cabello Haverda also supports Perry's return.
What I will say is that he's a man who asked for forgiveness, a month back, and I'm in my faith I cannot deny somebody forgiveness.
The District 6 councilwoman says she hopes Perry's return isn't a distraction from their work.
The reality is, though, that he's made a decision to come back, and there's a mechanism for him to do that, and he's taken all the official measures. At the end of the day, he was elected by his constituents.
We also asked Mayor Ron Nierenberg about Perry's return, and in a statement he says, quote, City Council lacks the authority to remove a member, and doubled down on a previous statement saying Perry should resign from City Council if the allegations against him are true.
Your name Clayton?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you realize you were potentially involved in a motor vehicle accident tonight, Clayton?
No.
That is San Antonio District 10 Councilman Clayton Perry in his backyard Sunday night. This interaction from an officer's body cam footage shows Perry disheveled and confused.
So what happened this evening that led us to here?
Well, I just came on home.
From where?
From, I was...
An answer that never comes from Perry himself, but this arrest warrant reports the trouble started for Perry at This Bill Miller on Thousand Oaks Drive. The restaurant called to report a man causing a disturbance in the drive-through line in a black Jeep Wrangler. Police later identified it to be Perry's. The cashier said Perry was highly intoxicated, smelled of alcohol, and his eyes were half closed. He didn't order anything, but did try to hand the manager his keys and wallet.
When you were having this good time, how much did you have to drink?
Well, I had a good time.
What does that mean?
Just had a good time.
What does that mean?
Well, had a good time.
Was it the people you were with, the beverages you were drinking, the music you were tapping your foot to? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, had a good time.
According to the arrest warrant, 4 minutes after Perry's Bill Miller visit, witnesses reported seeing the Jeep making a right turn onto Redland Road. The Jeep ended up heading the wrong way on Redland, crashed into a Honda Civic head-on, reversed, and sped away, blowing through a stop sign. One witness followed Perry to his home. That witness goes on to say the Jeep pulled up to the residence, crashed into a basketball goal, and hit the garage. That witness returned to the scene of the crash to inform the victim in the Honda Civic of where the hit-and-run driver went.
Admit it. Who was driving your vehicle tonight?
Well, I didn't have anybody here tonight.
Does that mean you were driving your vehicle tonight?
Nope.
Around 10 minutes into the video, EMS shows up and offers Perry medical attention, which he refuses. This is how we last see Perry after the officer offers to get Perry's keys, which are still in his running Jeep.
Still no card that's going to open that door, sir.
Just what?
There's no card that's going to open that door. I've seen you try about 6 now.
Well,
it's just a standard lock. You need a key.
And the Bexar County Sheriff's Office just released this shot of Perry. His affidavit ends with this detail. Without the benefit of surveillance video at Bill Miller and witness statements, officers say they would not have been able to place Perry as the defendant behind the wheel at the time of the crash.
In time, in less than a week, City Council has voted to discipline one of its own.
By a 9-0 count with 2 abstentions, Council voted no confidence in Perry on an amended resolution. It did not ask him to leave the position he's held for the past 5 years, as was originally proposed. Perry, who insists he's not going to quit, instead told Council he plans to take a leave of absence through a sabbatical of undetermined length. He asked for his District 10 constituents to be the ones to decide his future.
Although I do not intend to resign my seat, I'm asking for some time for me to heal. for due process to play out.
After listening to 16 members of the public voice near universal support for Perry, Council softened its original resolution and dropped the resignation request.
And when we make mistakes, how we make them is important, and how we take accountability for them is important.
Council's action stems from an incident 8 days ago when Perry was charged with leaving the scene of an accident without providing information. The incident is believed to have started with a disturbance Perry caused at a Bill Miller restaurant, followed by a hit-and-run accident on Redland Road. Body cam footage from the aftermath of the event, taken by a police officer, showed Perry disheveled and confused in his own backyard. He was bleeding from his head and unable to fully account for his recent actions. Driving while intoxicated charges are also being considered, stemming from the hit-and-run accident Perry admits he was in but does not remember. He subsequently issued a statement saying he was sorry for what he described as a hassle. He reiterated that point today.
I'm genuinely sorry, not only to the occupants of the other vehicle, but to my district neighbors, my staff, and the city staff, my family, and friends, and community as a whole. I know there could have been easily a much worse outcome.
Jim Lefkoe, News 4, San Antonio.
All right, Jim, thank you. Now let's continue our team coverage with Matt Roy, who will lay out for us what happens next after this vote of no confidence. Good evening, Matt.
Yeah, Simone, good evening. As of just about 2 hours ago, Clayton Perry now on a leave of absence from his post as District 10 City Councilman so he can focus on his health. We tried to catch up with him after the meeting to ask how long he'd be gone for, but he would not take any questions after. We did ask City Attorney Andy Segovia, though, if there's a time limit on how long Perry can be gone. Segovia says it would be until the May 20th to 23rd city general election. The council did make a motion, today to immediately start the process to hire an interim councilperson to give District 10 residents a voice. That motion passed, and then Segovia laid out that process for us.
So the clerk will put out on our website an application. People can submit applications up till November 28th, with the expectation that on the B session on November 30th, the council will review those applications, come up with up to 3 finalists that they'll then be prepared in the December meeting to appoint somebody for District 10.